Hey everyone, today's video we're going to be taking a look at a whip build that you can make that will give the whip a very fast attack speed and just make it like overall strong for what you're able to get in pre-hard mode. So the whip we're going to be using for this video is going to be the spinal tap, which you're able to make post Skeletron, and this one has been reforged to legendary, which would be the best prefix for the whip, I want to say. We're going to be using the thing that makes this that's going to make this possible is going to be Obsidian armor plus some accessories that we have. So Obsidian armor with the full set bonus gives you an increased whip range by 50% and speed by 35%. So what's important here is the speed by 35%. That's going to be the attack speed of our whip. So this is what the whip is like with just the armor on and the whip by itself with the prefix that it has, which is legendary, with no other additives like accessories or potions or anything. But all these accessories here have all been reforged for violent, which is going to give us 4% extra melee speed, and whips are affected by melee speed. So when we go ahead and put all of these accessories on, except for the last one that has 4% extra melee speed, as you can see we can get a little bit it's noticeably faster, visually faster than what we just had with just the armor by itself. And the important part is going to be the feral claws, which allows us to just hold the button down and just auto attack for us. That greatly increases our melee speed, and just that's more DPS in general. And we could actually make it even slightly crazier by drinking ale, which also gives us like a 10% melee speed, I believe. So it can get pretty crazy. The other accessories that we're wearing don't really matter. They're just here for the violent prefix, because there aren't any other accessories in pre-hard mode, I believe, that like increase your melee speed the way the feral claws does. Like those accessories would be available in hard mode, like the Titan glove, mechanical glove, etc. So these are just here for the violent prefix as well as the movement, because we're gonna try to fight like most of the pre-hard mode bosses just to see exactly how strong this build would be against those bosses. So we're gonna be using these other accessories mainly for movement, because this is gonna be a master mode. We're playing on the journey character, but I'm gonna make sure that the difficulty is on master mode while we fight these bosses, and we're just gonna be using the whip. So we need those accessories for movement, as well as just to have something that gives us more violent, so we have a faster melee speed for the whip. Okay, so we'll be taking on the pre-hard mode bosses just to showcase exactly how strong this build is against them. We'll only be using whips, so we're not going to be using any familiars, just the whip, and these would be the combat potions that we're using. So since we can't do crits with summon damage, we're going to be using wrath potions, and then just the standard combat potions. Flasks do work, so I'm going to be using a flask of fire. I don't know, at pre-hard mode you only have the flask of fire and the poison flask available. And I don't know which one's better than the other, so I'll just use the fire or the poison. It depends what I'm fighting. And then these are just here in case it's too dark, so you guys can all see a little bit better. But that'll be the general idea. We're just going to be going up against the pre-hard mode bosses just to see how we'll stack up against them. Okay, so we're going to be starting off with Eye of Cthulhu. So here's the loadout again. All violent, Obsidian, legendary, spinal tap, our consumables again. And just to make sure, the difficulty will be in master mode. So it's going to be master mode, so definitely don't want to get hit because we have like no damage. Plus we'll be taking ale, which also takes down our damage as well, so we want to avoid as well as we can. We're just going to be showing off how strong the whip would be against Eye of Cthulhu. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, this whip build is pretty good. We just like demolish most of the bosses. Well, I wouldn't say demolish, but we did pretty well against them. We didn't have any real issues aside from the wall of flesh. We did, we were kind of struggling against wall of flesh. We almost died near the end there, especially when the wall speeds up. And I did have to fight the wall of flesh twice because the first time, for some reason, OBS was not recorded. So I had to fight it twice. And the second time I was a little bit more scared that like some random mob would be on the platform, since it was hard mode and it would just kill me in 2 hits or so, because we have like no defense with this armor. But aside from that, we did pretty well. So overall, we did like really well. With the Obsidian armor and the Feral Claws, of course, we're just like constantly shooting out DPS with the amount of times we attack, like, with our melee speed. So that was really cool. And this was just like us by ourselves. Like we didn't even have any familiars, so I could imagine if we were using, like, if this was an actual run, we'd be using familiars, minions, and like it probably wouldn't have any issues at all. With like the imps or the bees or whatever, we'd have like some minions that could actually do damage as well as what we're doing. So it was pretty well for just using the whip only. Like clearly the whip, this build at least, the whip build can carry you pretty far through all of pre-hard mode without even needing minions. That's really cool. That about concludes the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, then please consider leaving a like if you enjoyed it. And also comment and share your thoughts with me as well, and maybe consider subscribing for more videos to come. I will attempt to make a part 2, and part 2 we'll see if we can go into hard mode, since hard mode has like more accessories that also increases your melee speed, so we might be able to make an even more absurd build in hard mode. So just let me know in the comments if you want to see us like take this to hard mode and see if we can get an even crazier build, and like just to see how faster we can make the whips, since they're already fast enough. But I'm sure they're like the Titan glove, mechanical glove, etc. A lot of accessories like that further increase your melee speed, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more videos.